Have you ever stopped to consider the hidden rhythms that structure the lives of billions? Around the world, a silent, synchronized movement unfolds every single day, a practice that has endured for over 14 centuries. It's a spiritual choreography that connects a London banker, a Jakarta street vendor, a Saharan nomad in a shared moment of devotion. Many see it simply as a religious obligation, a box to be ticked 5 times over. But what if this daily ritual holds a much deeper secret? Before we delve into this profound spiritual technology, I encourage you to subscribe, share this exploration. By doing so, you help us build bridges of understanding in a world that desperately needs them. We are about to uncover the real reason behind one of the most visible and misunderstood practices in the world, the 5 daily prayers in Islam. This practice is not merely about habit or adherence to a set of ancient rules passed down through generations. To view it as such is to see only the surface of a vast and deep ocean of meaning. It is, in its essence, a profound system designed for human flourishing, a spiritual lifeline in the often chaotic sea of modern existence. To truly grasp the essence of the 5 daily prayers, we must first shift our perspective. Instead of seeing it as a command from a distant authoritarian ruler, we should view it as an invitation from a loving and compassionate creator. Islamic tradition recounts the Prophet's night journey, the Miraj. He ascended to the heavens and spoke directly with God. In that intimate encounter, the 5 daily prayers were established. Initially, the number was 50, a daunting, impossible task. Through a compassionate exchange, it was reduced to 5, while the reward remained that of 50. This reframes prayer, not a burden imposed but a merciful gift bestowed. This divine invitation calls us to step away from our worldly concerns, worries about the future, regrets about the past. It lets us recenter on what is eternal and unchanging. Think of prayer as meetings scheduled through your day, the most important meeting possible. These are not meetings of judgment. You are welcomed, you are heard, you can unburden your heart. 5 prayers keep you near a spiritual anchor. Like hunger hours after a meal, the soul needs reconnection. Prayer is the soul's sustenance, prevents spiritual starvation. The Arabic word for the Islamic prayer is salah, which is often translated simply as prayer. However, its linguistic root carries a much deeper meaning: connection, contact, communication. It is not a monologue where a person simply lists their demands or recites empty words. Instead, salah is conceptualized as an intimate conversation, a direct audience with God. It involves the entire being, the mind, the body, the soul. The mind is focused through the recitation of specific verses from the Quran. The body engages in a series of physical postures, standing, bowing, known as ruku, prostrating. The soul in turn experiences a state of humility, reverence, and closeness to the divine. The act of standing upright signifies our readiness to present ourselves before our Creator. The bowing, known as ruku, represents humility and respect, but the most significant posture is the prostration, or sujud. In this position, the worshipper places their forehead on the ground, the highest part of their body touching the lowest point. This act is the ultimate physical manifestation of surrender and submission. Islamic tradition holds that the closest a person is to God is in the state of prostration. It is in this posture that personal supplications are often made, whispered from the heart. This conversation extends beyond the individual, creating a powerful sense of unity and community. The first prayer of the day is Fajr, performed in the tranquil moments between first light and sunrise. To perform it requires a conscious effort to leave the warmth and comfort of one's bed, while the world is still shrouded in darkness and silence. This very act is symbolic. It represents a victory of the spirit over the body. It represents devotion over comfort. It is a statement of intent for the day ahead. The Prophet Muhammad is reported to have said the 2 cycles before Fajr are better than the world and everything in it, highlighting the immense spiritual value of this pre-dawn devotion. It is a prayer of new beginnings, offered at the very birth of a new day. By starting the day with remembrance, a Muslim sets a spiritual tone for the hours ahead, like setting the needle of a compass before embarking on a journey. Waking up early and engaging in a structured, mindful ritual has been shown to increase productivity, reduce stress, improve mental well-being. Fajr is a form of spiritual discipline that cultivates self-control and resilience. The struggle to wake up is a small daily jihad struggle against one's own lower self. In essence, Fajr is an act of hope and optimism, symbolizing belief in God's mercy and the promise of a new day, instilling gratitude for the gift of life. As the day progresses, the sun reaches its zenith. the call for the door prayer is heard. This is the midday prayer, performed when the sun begins its decline. It comes at the peak of our workday, a crucial spiritual intermission. It forces us to step away from the hustle, to disengage from pressures and deadlines, to remember our higher purpose, a moment of spiritual recalibration. Following Dur is the ASR prayer, late afternoon as long shadows fall, a time of fatigue that invites us to detach, reflect, and take stock. These two prayers act as anchors that secure the soul amidst the storm of daily life, restoring stability and perspective. As the sun dips below the horizon and the sky is painted with hues of orange and red, the time for the Maghrib prayer begins. This prayer is performed immediately after sunset, its window relatively short, coinciding with the end of the workday as people return home. The Maghrib prayer marks a transition from public to private, a sacred boundary. Its essence is gratitude, thanking God for blessings, sustenance, and protection received that day. A moment to reflect on challenges overcome and successes achieved, attributing them to divine grace. For families, Maghrib is a point of convergence. They come together to pray in unison, strengthening bonds and centering the home. The final prayer of the day is Isha, performed in the darkness of the night after twilight has completely disappeared. This is when the day's activities cease and stillness descends. Isha is the bookend, a final act of devotion before surrendering to sleep. Performing this prayer requires a last effort when the body longs for rest, testifying to prioritizing spiritual connection over physical comfort. It entrusts one's soul to God during the vulnerable hours of sleep, often described as a minor death. The Isha prayer is rooted in tawakkul, trust. Standing to pray in the dark, we place trust in God to protect us through the night and grant us life again in the morning, calming anxieties and fears. Isha is a moment to consolidate lessons from the previous prayers, make a final plea for forgiveness, renew the intention to be better tomorrow, completing the daily cycle of remembrance. By ending the day with Isha, one prepares for the best kind of sleep. Instead of blue light or lingering anxieties, the day ends with a peaceful, meditative act, promoting restorative rest. Isha is the final seal on the day, a prayer of trust in the darkness and a plea for a peaceful passage into a new dawn. While prayer in Islam is a deeply personal conversation with God, it's also a profoundly communal act. The 5 daily prayers are the unseen threads that weave the fabric of the Ummah together. When Muslims pray in congregation, they stand shoulder to shoulder, feet to feet. Worldly status becomes irrelevant. A Muslim from Morocco can enter a mosque in Malaysia and join immediately because the rituals are universal. Every day, at times set by the sun, millions face the Kaaba together. Bonds from prayer lines lead to cooperation in life, charity drives, education, and helping the needy. In our contemporary world of relentless pace, constant connectivity, and overwhelming information, 5 daily prayers may seem impractical, yet they're more necessary than ever. They are scheduled moments of mandatory disconnection, a spiritual technology perfected over centuries to bring balance and protect against burnout. Ultimately, Salah reclaims time, sacralizing it and structuring the day as a journey from one conversation with God to the next. Far from being just a rule, it's a rhythm, a relationship, and a refuge, transforming daily existence with meaning and a sense of divine purpose. What rhythms in your own life give you pause and connect you to a deeper sense of purpose?